Hello and good morning. This video is going to be a quick walkthrough on how to design with component libraries, and the focus is designing mobile applications, and we'll be testing out something similar to this, just one or two screens from this paper prototypes. Now, if you're designing an Android application, then your best bet is to use m3.material.io because you will have a lot of components that are that are patterns and designed specifically for Android apps. Now, if you're designing for iOS, your best bet is to come to developer.apple.com/design/resources, and you will find the libraries you need to design applications for iOS. Now let's get right into it. To open, just click on Figma, and for material, just click on the Figma design kit as well. Let's give that a minute to load, please. Yeah, perfect. Now, I can just open this on Figma, and I will open material design as well on Figma. Let's just give this a minute to load, and while we do that, there is something to there's something very important to understand, that the reason why we use components is for us to be able to design rapidly, to be able to churn out design in minutes instead of spending hours. And you would see that evidence because this these libraries provide every single thing, or if not all, almost all what would be needing to design it. To design an application. You have the buttons, you have the cards. I believe if you use Instagram, this is something you might be familiar with. You have the carousel, you have the chips, you've got date pickers, you've got calendars, dialogues, dividers, and a lot of things, right? So these are like enough for you to come up with an interface. And this is for material design, by the way. And if you're designing for maybe iOS, I think it's pretty much the same thing. That's a quite larger file, but it's pretty much the same thing, right? You have, let's scroll to the components page. Yeah. So you have all of these components and elements and objects, pre-designed templates that you can just drag and drop right into your design. Now, drag and drop. Do not make this mistake of having to create a new page, right? But I'll come to that later when we start designing. So just like we saw on material design, we have almost something similar as well on iOS. You have the buttons, right? And you have the swipe actions, you have the row text feeds. If you're someone who uses an iOS device, you will likely see that these are things that you're familiar with, and that's the essence of designing with libraries. They help you design things that your users are already accustomed to. So you aren't giving them something totally new. You're giving them something they can interact with intuitively, right? Now, for the sake of quickness, I kind of have a very nice, I have affinity for material design, so I will make this video about material design. But then it's the same thing, it's the same manner of designing. Now, to get started, right, to start designing, there are two things that are very important for you to know. You don't need to go ahead and create a new page for your own design. This material design kit is your own, like it's for you. It's a copy for your application. So you can just rename it to Azim app, right? So anytime you open this, you basically just opening a copy for yourself. You are not opening the main file that they designed, so it's for you. So that's a mistake that that people make, and they go ahead and create a new page and start copying all of this to their to their page. So you don't need to. You can just you only need to design in this library. So that being said, the second thing is that all of these components you see here, every of them, right, they are listed under assets. Please take a look at this. They are listed under assets. This is layers, right, and this is the assets pane. So you would find out that we have badges, buttons, cards, checkboxes, menus up to tooltips and app bars. Then we have styles, element, layout, typography. They are all listed under assets. So that means when you're designing and you're, for example, let's say you are on another page. I'm going to create a new page and name it my app design. Right. So if I need to use a component, I don't need to go back to components and copy. That's not the best practice. I only need to swipe to the assets pane. Let's say I happen to need a card, then I will just drag the card in. C'est fini. That's all. Right. So it's as easy as that. Now let's start designing something, and this is going to be my reference image, and I would just paste it. Ideally, I like to organize my pages by creating a new page for, like, inspiration or references, but that's just if I have to do something that's very large. However, let's go back to our main application page, which is app design, and this is just going to be our reference for today. And we won't be designing all of this. We'll only be designing I guess the sign up page and this guy right here, because it looks pretty easy. Now, how do we get started, right? I mean, what's the next thing to do? The next thing to do is just to go to assets, like I said, and because you don't have a frame yet, I will recommend using the frame for an Android device that is preset by them, and you will find them under styles, elements. Oh yeah, styled elements and device, and you can bring in this one. So that's how to do it. That's how to do it. And by the way, if you want to turn on the grid, you can turn on the grid here. So Figma interface basically has three apart from the canvas, which is what you have right in front of you, like this whole canvas. There are three places you should keep your eye on, and that's the sidebar by the left and the sidebar by the right, as well as this header. So they all change when you click on something. What you have here changes, right? And it's going to be very important for you while you design. Now I think I will just keep the grid visible for now, because I need it as a visual guideline for placing items. Now I have my device frame, but before I start designing on this frame, something is very important for me to do, and that's to detach the instance. If I want, I can make it the light mode, and if I want, I can make it the dark mode. But I think this application looks like something we would like to design in light mode for, so let's leave it at light mode. Now, when I've selected my mode or my theme, I will detach instance. And why I have to detach instance is because I will have to place other objects into this frame. And if it's still a component, right? If I leave the instance undetached, I won't be able to place anything into the frame, right? So it's important for me to detach instance first, and now it's something I can edit. That being said, I think I would like to have this because it's important, and I would like to leave this the way it is. I'm going to name this my sign up page, right? Now, let's identify this thing together. We have the logo, we have this looks like an avatar or a thumbnail, then we have the text input field, and we have the button. So that's all we need to create this page, and we don't need to start drawing circles, writing text from scratch, or creating buttons from scratch. We have everything right under our assets library or our component. Um, so the first thing I want to drag in here is the logo, but I don't have a logo, so I expect you will have to design a logo for your by yourself for your application, or it could be provided by your designer. And so I will just make it a text. Now, when I want to write something, right? Let's say I want to write travel app. In case you were wondering how I was able to get this text into the frame, what I did is I clicked on T for text, and I clicked on my screen, and I can now type. So travel and app. Now, I would like to change the font of this application, of this travel app that I've written, but I don't need to, to change this font by myself by doing all of this, typing text, because there's a library, so I have everything preset for me. So instead of doing this, or instead of controlling the font here, I would just click on this styles right here. So when I click on that, I already have text styles pre-made, and this looks like an headline, right? Because it's supposed to be a logo, but then I think you can make it an headline instead, or a title. Let's go with the headline. So I'll go with the headline medium. I think I need something better, so I would go with the headline. Okay, no. Yeah, so this is a decision you'll have to also make by yourself. But anyway, I think let's go with this. Let's go with this one. This looks pretty cool. Yeah, so that's the first block. And I also have something that says one thumb away. So I'm gonna write one thumb away, and this looks like a small text. Or should I use something smaller? Great. One thumb away, right? So we're having our application built from from already made templates. So that means it's not just the component that are pre-made. The text styles are also pre-made for you. Do you understand? Now let's come to this. We need something like a thumbnail. So do we have a thumbnail in this library? Let's check. I think we do. And it's supposed to be under elements, I guess. And ideally, when someone wants to log in, they really don't have they don't have a thumbnail yet. But nevertheless, let's just bring this in, for the sake of this design. So I will bring that in and add it here. Cool. Now, if you probably don't like this one and you want to change it, like I said, always keep an eye on the right sidebar. So you can just come here to swap instance and click on any of them, and it's going to automatically update. But I think I love this lovely person. It has a bird. Now the next thing for me is to write the login. So I'm going to write login, log in, and like I said, I can always make the font what I want. So I will make this font medium, or I can make it this one. Looks pretty cool, right? I think it looks pretty cool. So now next thing for me to do now is to add an input field, email and password, right? So I just would need to go back to my assets. I'm going to hide these guys, and I will look for where I have input, or it might be called something else in Google Material Design, but now I think I need to go back to the layers panel and check what it's called. Yeah, so it's somewhere here. Yeah, it's called the text field. It's called the text field. So back to my design, I will just go to asset, then look for where I have text fields, and I'm designing on light mode, so I will drag the light one in, and that's on period. So now it's time to pay rapt attention. It's time to pay rapt attention. You can see that what you have here is pretty different from what you want to achieve, right? Which means you might need a level of some level of editing. Also, um, once you bring in the components from the asset library, please always check what you have on your right sidebar. Like I said initially, always check what you have on your right sidebar. I can see a couple of controls here. So I want my style to be outlined. Yeah, I will do that. I think I like this one, and I want it to be enabled, of course. Input. Do I need an input text? I think I need a label because it's not yet entered, or I think I will do a placeholder text instead. All right. So do I need this trillion icon? I don't think I need it, so I'll just hide that. Do I need an icon before it? Maybe, so we can use that, right? So or if you want, you can turn it off, but I think we should turn it off. Now it's time for me to start editing this, guys, right? So instead of me editing it from here, I have the label text which says email, so I'll write email. Cool. The placeholder, I can say enter a valid email address. Don't worry. And for this one, I do not think I need the supporting text for now, so I will just turn that off. Cool. Now, it's long. I mean, it's very short, so I can just drag it from the edge here, and that would be good. And this is why you need guidelines at times. It helps you organize your design and follow. It's basically helps you organize your design very well. And now I need something as well for password, and I can duplicate this by clicking on it and right click, copy, and paste again. Right? Great. For ideally, I used shortcuts, but then because it's a tutorial, so I think I would just use the long way. Now I can change this to password, and I can say enter a secure password. Cool. And yeah, my page is coming up gradually, happily. So what I need next is the button, and where will I find this button? The component, and I will find the component under the asset. So I will go to buttons. I need a lights button, so I will drag this in. Cool. And remember, sometimes when one thing that you keep in mind is you don't want your user to to have issues clicking on your button. And the best practice for designing buttons is to make on mobile is to make one button for one row, so I can just increase the size of this as well. Now I need to change the text here, and luckily I have a field for that, and I will just change that to log in. Do I want login icon? Not really. I don't think I do, but then I can turn that off. Okay, let me just undo instead. Yeah, so we have our page almost complete. Then we have something very small here, which is if you're not registered yet, sign up. And I think I can use this same text for that. So I'll Control C and Control V and just drag that somewhere here. Not registered. Sign up. Cool. And with this, you've been able to design, a sign up page that easily with just using, just using libraries, right? So this is the magic that's these libraries do for you. They help you design very rapidly. Then next video will be something with organizing and linking pages to pages. Thank you.